Hi, everyone. It's Dr. Asha. Thank you for joining me today. Have you ever just seen in your life something happening over and over again? Like, you know that there is a certain pattern that keeps on happening, and you notice it, and you see it, and you repeat it, and you keep on feeling the same way over and over again. You keep on thinking, okay, I've been here, done that. Maybe it's a different timeline, different time in your life, different situation, different city, different country, even different location, maybe different characters in there, but still, it's the same old, same old. That is what we call a pattern. And these patterns in our life can come up in any area of our life, whether it is a money pattern, a health pattern, a relationship pattern, a job pattern, whatever sabotaging pattern, whatever it may be, these patterns are what make up our life from time to time. We notice them. Sometimes we get into autopilot and we keep on going with these patterns. But what does it really mean? You know, the reason why I want to talk to you about this today is because this is important when it comes to us wanting to break certain patterns, to break maybe a health pattern. Maybe you've been living very unhealthy. Maybe your well-being, maybe not only on a physical standpoint, but maybe mentally and emotionally, there has been something that you have been dealing with for such a long time that it keeps on making you uneasy. It gives you more tension. It gives you more symptoms. Maybe there are things that are happening on a regular basis that you're wanting to break through. Goes, for all of us. I can remember many, many years ago experiencing something where this pattern I had noticed for a very, very long time. Okay. And this was probably before I even started in private practice. I think I had just started private practice. It was, seeing patients, and I had not stepped into my coaching role yet with coaching clients and speaking and writing and those kinds of things. But what happened was that I was sitting at a dinner and there was a group of friends, and there was a snide comment that was made in my direction concerning the career choices that I've made, my career path, and what I was choosing to do, how I was choosing to help people, helping them with their mind body connection, and taking it a step further than, maybe other people that are colleagues of mine. And it was a snide comment that somebody made. And it wasn't the first time that somebody had made a comment like this. And I mean, I'm sure we all can relate to, maybe we've been the ones that have said something that was kind of off-putting, just, comes across kind of as a joke. It's something that kind of stings somebody, but it's just kind of played off. And I fell into my same old pattern at that time. And that pattern was to laugh it off, to make it a joke, make sure everybody else was comfortable and just calm and not say anything instead of being honest with myself. And I wasn't standing up for myself at the time. And this was something, I had recognized over and over again that had happened, but I wasn't sure until that moment. There was something about that moment that it really hit me. And I realized that I wasn't there for myself. And when you're not there for yourself, you can't be there for other people. And this was very early on in my career, and it really was a big eye opener for me. And it wasn't that I needed to say something to disrupt or to cause a big argument or to cause a big issue at the dinner table. It wasn't like that, but it was about not abandoning yourself, not letting your feelings take a second or even third place at the expense or at the cost of everyone else's comfort and everyone else's ease. That, not that evening, but I think it was a couple of months after that, for the first time, I spoke up and I said, hey, you know what? I know we're trying to be funny, we're trying to make lighthearted, and you guys have joked about this. However, I actually take offense to that, and this is why, and this is what I'm actually doing. And what it happened was, of course, initially there was this uncomfortableness, but what happened for me was that I was starting to build new circuitry in my brain, in my neuroscience, and my neurology to help me break a pattern that I probably learned early on. Our brains learn for the first 7 years of our life. We are like a sponge. We take on everything. We learn how things are handled. We learn how we receive love or not, how our needs are met or not. We learn how to handle conflict. We learn how to please people. We learn how to gain love and be valued. And all of these things happen within our first 7 years. And so what happens is that it is so natural to us and it's so common that it feels like that's our true self. But in fact, those are actual patterns that we are putting in place and learning that we can unlearn. And most of the time, we get confronted later on to unlearn them. This is why we start to see patterns happening in our life throughout the life, whether it's the broken relationship, whether it's the job that goes fantastically for the first 6 months and then it just self-destructs, in the next 6 months, whether it's money issues or whether it's health issues. This is why we are constantly falling into this pattern because it's a learned behavior. Now, I find it very important, and I've seen this as almost 3 decades as a practitioner, how people can learn step by step on how to rewire their neurology, rewire their brain, their mindset in order to help them live healthier, in order to be better in alignment and to break these patterns. This is why you'll see some people that actually break bad habits. They have the ability to do it because it takes time, of course, it takes effort. But once you learn how the brain works, how the nervous system works, and how we can benefit from working with it and learning different tools on how we can break these cycles and break these loops that are created, we can live a much different life, a healthier life, a life that feels good to ourselves, not one that we are constantly feeling tense or, offended or whatever that may be. At that time, many years ago, one of the things I realized was that the amount of physical tension that caused for me was immense. It was really, really, it was causing headaches at that time. It was causing muscle tension, shoulders tightness. It was causing a lot of disruption also in my sleep patterns at that time. And shortly after that, I started to realize and started to work with this. And this is what led me, one of the many things, major patterns that led me to help people now, as I'm doing now, in learning to become more aware and realizing that they do have the ability to create a different life and a different experience, just step by step. So if you're interested in digging deeper into this, I want to invite you to join us in our membership here on YouTube. This is a subject that I really feel passionate about and want to talk to you about this in a deeper way. So please come on and join us in there. The first video in that membership series for this is going to be about diving into how the brain creates these loops and how we can break free from them. So I hope that you'll join me. If you haven't already subscribed to our channel, please do so. Follow us, drop us a comment, join us on here. Get notified weekly of the content that we're sharing with you. Thank you so much, and I look forward to connecting with you inside the membership. Till next time.